Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, November 19th. We are looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and NQ. So a couple of interesting things. We end up with an outside day up in ES. Okay? That's after coming out of an outside day to the downside on a gap, taking out last week's low by 2 ticks. And then we took back yesterday's trend day, only to go trend day up today and hold a double distribution day. NQ never took out yesterday's low. They end with a triple distribution day up as they hold 1 tick up here and then the single prints down here. We both got into our gaps from the 15th. ES got into its gap from the 6th, but just barely. So you talk about focal points. Look at this in ES. Trend day today, gap above, gap below. I'm calling it a 3-day balance because we did not take out Friday's high buy lot. So this is a 3-day balance going into tomorrow. I'm calling NQ a 3-day balance. Same thing. We didn't take out Friday's high buy enough. Now, if we take out today's high tomorrow and get any kind of legs, the daily would be up. Even if we don't fill those gaps, I would call it up. Now, you have NVIDIA earnings tomorrow after the close. Righty goes out. They gap lower, go out with a trend day up with 3 sets of single prints, B, C, and D, a price probe, and they take out yesterday's high. So after being down on the daily, they go back to balance in the last couple of minutes of the day. 3-day balance with a trend day up. So we're all holding trend days up. The only one that had an outside day up, though, is ES. And Righty failed to close above it. And NQ never took out yesterday's low to have it. Now, here's an interesting thing. The bulls have won. You need to think about this because we dig deep into everything, especially as a day trader. After Friday, now again, I wasn't here Friday, but since Friday, the bulls have won yesterday and today in fairly convincing fashion on my checklist sheet. 6-0 in ES yesterday, 5-0 today. 6-1 in NQ yesterday, 7-0 today. However, the only big thing that really occurred for the Bears because ES took out last week's low to put it back into balance. Think about that. So you can see how the intraday can be strong for one side, but in the bigger picture, nothing changed here. We're still in balance, right? And in the intermediate time frame, ES put the weekly back to balance because it took out last week's low. Now, SPY didn't. SPY did not take out last week's low. Now, we only took it out by 2 ticks, but we took it out, plain and simple. So I just think that's very interesting to see the context of both intraday and bigger picture. I said this morning, there's no reason to rush into things because, until we get an idea what they want to do. Think about this again. Gap and go got crushed. If you took a short on the opening, you got crushed. It went down a little bit and right up the whole day. We had 2 pullbacks today, an F and K. That is it. So the bulls won the intraday. Now, I had a good day. I did lose an A period in NQ because when it did push up the first time, I took a short against the 144 and the upper end of the lower distribution yesterday. Got above it, took it off for loss. Not a big one, but got hurt on it. But then I got my staple plays. I got A's high, which was very nice in B. I got the IB high, which was very nice in C. And I got the overnight high in E. So I got all my staple plays, all 3 of them on 5 lots. Okay? After that, I actually took a long in G period in ES because ES couldn't get the yesterday's high or the overnight high for anything. I took it off for a 3-point loss. I bought it 31.25, took it off for 28.25. I'm like, I'm not going to play games here if they don't want to get it. We eventually got it. And that was my last trade. It was my last trade because we were at a balance high, because we had the big gap above us. So I really was hard for me to get long, even though we were holding these single prints. We did take back I's later in ES and NQ. And I really couldn't short it because we were holding these single prints. So I watched. There's no harm in that. I had a really good B, C, and E period. Okay? I was in my regular trading account, my own personal money. I then switched over. I was going to trade Tradeify. Tradeify was didn't allow trading because of issues on TradeEvade. So I actually just went to another fund I'm in and took that one trade in G, and that was it. So it turned out to be a good day, despite only making, really, I lost on an A and E on one trade each, and I made on 3 trades in B, C, and E. I did 5 trades today and had a really good day. Right? It's not how much you trade, it's what you get out of the trades. Please keep that in mind. I put these in different increments, so I'm not going to go over the reference points because I don't know if they're 100% right. But before we get to the charts, this is our main focus for tomorrow. ES is fairly easy. Above yesterday's high, they're going to probably go fill that gap. It's not that large. Below today's low, they're going to get into this gap. Now that is large. NQ's the opposite. If they get above today's high, that gap is very large above them. $4 or $5. If they take out yesterday's low, it's not necessarily going to get the gap, but if they take out the balance low, they should fill that gap because it's not that large. So ES and NQ's gaps, right, are different in the sizes from the upside gaps and downside gaps. So the other thing is, which distributions do we play in? If we open in the upper distribution, obviously you have decent odds to get the upside gaps. If you open in the lower distribution, the odds turn the other way. So that's MGI. That's market-generated information. Sometimes you don't get it right away. Okay? Sometimes you don't get it anyway. But and please keep in mind, this is all short-term traders. This isn't long-term money trying to pull buyers up to sucker them in or vice versa. Please. These are fickle, fragile, short-term traders. That's it. There is no long-term money in this game right now, either on the buy side or sell side, no matter what anybody tells you. And then chart-wise, so here's ES. Now, this is SPY. Didn't take out last week's low, but ES did. So for me, ES is in balance. Plain and simple. On the weekly. The daily is a 3-day balance. We still have island bottom holding. We have island top holding. In NQ, all you have is the island top holding. Oh, I'm sorry, and the island bottom. I forget it. I apologize. We have both. And they are also a 3-day balance. Love to see you guys come and check out camelbacktrading.org. Go check out the website and see the different price points we offer. I think for the value we offer, I think we're one of the best in the business for what we give, being on the mic the entire day while live streaming this profile. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Enjoy your evening, and we will speak prior to the opening tomorrow.